Hello and welcome to Take 5 with Tony. This is the third in our series about genetic engineering. GMO foods are perfectly safe. There's never been a documented case of anyone becoming sick from eating genetically modified foods. And there's not been a single reputable scientific study that shows a connection between GMO consumption and health problems of any kind. That's what Monsanto says. That's what Syngenta and Bayer say. That's what all the promoters say. But a fair number of microbiologists and spokespeople for distinguished scientific organizations have said as much as well. So it's pretty persuasive. I guess the fact is that there's just no evidence of any kind that GMOs could cause health problems. Oh, except a study by Dr. Eric Seralini, who looked at GMO corn, Roundup Ready corn, fed to laboratory animals and found, in fact, very serious problems with their livers and kidneys. And on top of that, after a few months, extensive development of tumors and higher rates of mortality compared to the controls. Okay, except for the study by Seralini, there's never been a case, evidence of any kind, proving problems with health and GMO consumption. Except for the Calgene Flavor Saver tomato, the first on the market. And Calgene's own data showed that the rats eating the tomatoes, 20% of them developed serious stomach lesions. Okay, except for the Seralini study and the Calgene Flavor Saver tomato, there's no evidence ever of any health problems with GMO food consumption, except the Rowett Institute, prestigious institute in Aberdeen, Scotland, and the work of Dr. Arpud Pustai, who took potatoes, fed them to laboratory animals, and found incredible abnormalities in the intestinal tract, along with serious deficiencies in the immune system. All right, well, except for the Seralini study on corn and the Rowett study on potatoes and the Flavor Saver study on tomatoes, there's no evidence that GMOs have ever caused any health problems, except the GMO soybeans tested by Dr. Manuel Malatesta, who found that the soybeans fed to mice led to kidney problems and problems in the endocrine system, as well as problems in the reproductive functioning of the males. Ooh. So we hear that there's no evidence ever anywhere of any kind, but you know what? There is. And these are not quacks. These are PhDs and reputable scientists performing the research under excellent controlled circumstances and having it peer-reviewed and published in the finest journals in the world. That's where the evidence is coming from. Now, what are the differences between these studies and the studies paid for by industry? The industry studies tend to be 90 days or less. And what these scientists have found is that many of the problems with kidneys, livers, stomach, intestines, autoimmune, only accumulate after many more months, sometimes 6 months, 12 months, 15 months. Now in people, that's equivalent to 10, 15, 20 years. And here's what's interesting. As people have begun to look at this, they're in fact seeing correlations since the rise in the consumption of GMO foods and all kinds of problems, including serious kidney problems, Crohn's disease and other inflammatory bowel diseases, even autism. None of that has been proven, but there are strong correlations now. So I got to thinking, maybe it just takes a long time for the evidence to accumulate. Maybe we just don't know because these kinds of problems materialize only after years and years of consumption. And I started wondering, has there been anything else we've consumed that it took us quite a few years to figure out there were problems, and quite a few years for them to accumulate? Could be. I don't know. See you next time, where we'll conclude our 4-part series on genetic engineering and GMO foods. Thanks.
All right, but apart from the sanitation, the medicine, education, wine, public order, irrigation, roads, the fresh water system and public health, what have the Romans ever done for us? Brought piggies.